Have you ever wondered where the concept of government by the people for the people originated? Picture the 17th century, a time when power was divine and kings were gods among men. It was an age of absolute monarchies and divine rights of kings. Then a revolutionary thinker emerged, challenging this status quo. Enter John Locke, a man not afraid to question the established norms. He dared to challenge the divine right of kings, and in doing so, changed the course of political thought forever. What if I told you that you were born with certain rights? Rights that are inherent and cannot be taken away. This is the crux of John Locke's theory of natural rights. Locke proposed that every human, by virtue of being human, inherently possesses three fundamental rights: the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to property. In his perspective, these rights are not gifts bestowed by a monarch or a government. They are inherent to our existence. The right to life signifies that every person has the right to not be killed by another. Liberty, as Locke saw it, is the freedom to live our lives without undue interference. And property? Well, Locke believed that individuals have the right to own and control their possessions as they see fit. These rights are inalienable, meaning they cannot be surrendered or transferred. So, in Locke's view, we are all free by nature, entitled to life, liberty and property. Imagine living in a state of nature where there is no government. How would we ensure our rights? This is where John Locke's concept of the social contract comes into play. Locke posited that in the absence of government, individuals would be in a constant state of war, vying for resources and survival. To escape this chaotic state, Locke argued, people voluntarily agree to form a social contract, a pact, if you will, creating a government to protect their natural rights, life, liberty and property. But it's not a one-sided deal. In exchange for this protection, individuals consent to abide by the laws and regulations implemented by this government. However, if the government fails to uphold its end of the bargain, Locke believed that the people retain the right to revolt and establish a new government. We, the people, have the power to create and dissolve governments. A radical idea, wasn't it? What happens when a government becomes tyrannical and infringes upon our rights? This question was at the heart of John Locke's political philosophy. Locke believed in a system where powers were separated, much like the checks and balances we see in modern democratic governments. He proposed a division of power between the legislative, executive and federative bodies of government. This separation, he argued, would prevent any one entity from becoming too powerful and infringing on the rights of citizens. But what if the government still overstepped its bounds? Locke argued that people had a right, even a duty, to resist. He passionately believed in the people's right to revolution. If a government failed to protect its citizens' rights or acted against their interests, the people had the authority to overthrow it and establish a new one. These revolutionary ideas had a profound influence on the American and French revolutions. The founding fathers of the United States, for instance, were deeply influenced by Locke's ideas. They saw in them a blueprint for a new kind of government, one based on the consent of the governed, not the divine right of kings. Similarly, Locke's ideas resonated with the revolutionaries in France, who were seeking to overthrow an oppressive monarchy. Locke's ideas not only sparked revolutions, but also continue to shape our modern political debates. His theories on the separation of powers and resistance to tyranny remain as relevant today as they were in the 17th century. So what does Locke's political philosophy mean for us today? Well, it's impossible to overstate the enduring impact of Locke's ideas. He was one of the first to champion the concept of government by the people, for the people. His notions of natural rights and the social contract remain cornerstones of modern democracies, shaping the very fabric of our political institutions. When we vote, we're putting Locke's ideas into action. When we question our leaders or protest against injustice, we're embodying his belief in the right of revolution. His argument for the separation of powers still influences the structure of governments worldwide, preventing the concentration of unchecked authority. Even in the 21st century, as we grapple with complex issues like wealth inequality, data privacy, or climate change, Locke's ideas continue to guide our debates and decisions. Locke's revolutionary ideas continue to challenge us, reminding us that government exists to serve the people, not the other way around.